Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. एंटीबायोटिक क्या होता है? हम लोग खुद भी तो लेते रहोगे, अभी कुछ सर्दी हुआ, कुछ नॉर्मल फीवर हुआ तो भी समटाइम डॉक्टर प्रिस्क्राइब क्या होता है?
बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन
हाँ,
क्या?
बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन को इनहिबिट करने के लिए एंटीबायोटिक, एंटी मतलब अगेंस्ट, बायोटिक मतलब बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन, सो दैट्स करेक्ट। ओके, तो जैसे हम लोग एंटीबायोटिक्स यूज करते हैं, इवन दिस बैक्टीरिया, ऐसा नहीं ना कि तुम आओ मुझे मार के जाओ करके, इवन दे डेवलप सम काइंड ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस, and this resistance is because of the genes which is actually present on the plasmids. Okay, so that's why plasmid contains the genes for different resistance or production of different toxins sometimes and multiple other functions. Okay, so that's why plasmid, but these are not really essential for its survival. Okay, ये सब ऐसी चीजें हैं जो उसको एक्स्ट्रा है, उसको एक्स्ट्रा है, दैट विल हेल्प इट टू मेक इट्स लाइफ बेटर। ओके, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि प्लाज्मिड नहीं रहेगा या फिर वो पर्टिकुलर जीन नहीं रहेगा तो वो जिएगा ही नहीं। इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, इट्स ऑलवेज लाइक extra bonus kind of thing, so it will have some properties because of the plasmid, because the plasmid contains multiple genes that actually helps in a different functions. Okay, and now you will read about plasmid thoda more, and actually you will study about plasmid in detail in your 12th standard, so that's why I'm not going in detail, but एक basic फाउंडेशन तो हम लोग को पता होना चाहिए कि वो होता क्या है, उसका फंक्शन क्या है। दैट्स व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग यू टू चेक इट अप एंड रीड अप, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट लाइक कि एकदम कल मुझे सबका सब प्लाज्मिड का स्ट्रक्चर एंड उसका जीन सीक्वेंस एंड सब प्रॉपर्टीज पता करना है, नहीं, एटलीस्ट वो क्या है और क्यों है, दैट शुड यू ऑल शुड नो ऑल, एटलीस्ट इतना कि क्या है और क्यों है। ओके, सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट विद अगेन मोनेरा, आई जस्ट हैड फ्यू क्वेश्चंस यहाँ पे which are very easy question and I want तुम लोग को please raise your hands. Okay, I am not able to see तुम लोग का मीटिंग कंट्रोल्स। ओके, हाँ, okay, so the very first question is why do we require scientific? Yeah, and now I need answer from others. Okay, not only Sharon या फिर Nikita, and this is the second time I'm saying repeating the same thing, मतलब मैं लास्ट लेक्चर में भी सेम बोला था और अभी मेरे सेम बोला, so don't force me to pick up you like ऐसा उठा एक का नाम उठा के अरे तू बता तू बता तू बता, we are not kids anymore, right? So why do we require scientific method?
रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए स्पीशीज ऑन द अर्थ।
वेरी गुड गिरीश, वेरी गुड। सो बट क्यों? तो हम तो ऐसे भी बोल सकते हैं कि अरे ये आम है, ये एप्पल है, ये मतलब इधर नॉर्मल वे भी तो हम लोग करते हैं, साइंटिफिक नेम ही क्यों, वो भी इतना डिफिकल्ट लाइक हेलियांथस एंड नोवस काइंड ऑफ थिंग, क्यों चाहिए वो सब? व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद द, और ऐसा हम लोग क्वेश्चन को उल्टा कर सकते हैं कि व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद द कॉमन और अ लोकल नेम्स, कि हम लोग को साइंटिफिक नेम की जरूरत पड़े? हेलो, तुझा आवाज येत नाहीये, सो आई डोंट नो की तू बोलतोयस का सम नेटवर्क इश्यूज। हेलो प्रणय, You are not audible. Yeah. If Pranay is facing issues, कोई और बताओ. 70 के क्लास में सिर्फ 2 लोग से एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे. No, Sharon, not you, please. I know you understand and you are trying to answer as much as possible, but let others get chance. Yes, Akshay. Akshay Nair batsman. Tell me, क्यों चाहिए कॉमन में? Yes, Akshay. Hello. Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So, okay, Manali. So I think Akshay is sleeping. So Manali, tell me.
सर डिफरेंट जगहों पे एक ही स्पीशीज का नाम अलग अलग जाना जाता है, सो कंफ्यूजन अवॉइड करने के लिए हम साइंटिफिक नेम्स का यूज करते हैं.
वेरी गुड. इट्स अ सिंपल वर्ड, राइट? ये एक लाइन बोलने के लिए भी तुम लोग को अगर मतलब थैंक यू Manali, yeah, you are correct, absolutely correct. If you are taking 5 minutes to tell all these things, मतलब थोड़ा अभी difficult होते जा रहा है, okay? So yeah, so Manali is correct. So to avoid the confusion, we require a scientific name, and that's why we were in the search of a universal system. जब जाके हम लोग को binomial nomenclature system पता चला. तो who gave this particular binomial nomenclature system? किसने बताया कि हम लोग ये यूज कर सकते हैं?
कार्ल लिनियस.
Yes, Sharon, please wait.
हाँ.
Yeah, Mayuresh.
कार्ल लिनियस.
Yeah, और कहाँ पे उसने बताया Mayuresh?
सर बुक ना.
Yeah, कौन सा बुक था वो? कुछ याद है?
स्पीशीज प्लांटेरियम.
Yeah, very good. So it was Carl Linnaeus who discussed about it first time in a book, Species Plantarum. Okay. Now I want to know any 3 rules that should be followed in binomial nomenclature system. So, कोई बताए? Yes, Ajinkya. You are on mute, Ajinkya. Unmute yourself and then tell. हेलो अजिंक्य, तुझा आवाज येत नाहीये.
सर वो माइक अनम्यूट ही नहीं हो रहा था.
हाँ, it's okay, it's okay.
The genus name is written first and first is this point and always genus का जो नेम है वो always capitalize में लिखना चाहिए.
पूरा नेम या क्या?
ओ मतलब जो
फर्स्ट लेटर,
वो जो नेम रहेगा वो जीनस का.
हाँ, तो पूरा का पूरा नेम कैपिटल में लिखना है या उसका सिर्फ फर्स्ट लेटर कैपिटल में लिखना है?
सर पूरा.
हाँ, अजिंक्य नीट चेक कर. पूर्ण नाव कॅपिटल मध्ये लिहायचं.
जे लक्षात येते ते सांगतोय मी.
हा, नाही मग तेच म्हणजे तू लक्षपूर्वक वाचत नाहीये, बरोबर?
फर्स्ट नेम
फक्त पहिलं जीनस नेम शुड कम फर्स्ट. या, दॅट इज अ करेक्ट पॉइंट. फॉलोड बाय द स्पीसीज नेम. जीनस नेम का फर्स्ट लेटर ओनली शुड बी कैपिटल एंड बाकी सब स्मॉल में चाहिए. सेकेंड रूल क्या होगा? What will be the second rule? So yeah, I got 2 things. It composed of 2 names and it about the genus name and species name. Now tell me one more rule. Yes, Mayuresh.
Sir, scientific names are written in italic script.
Italics when?
When they are handwritten.
तो कैसे? अब मेरा handwriting अलग है.
underline.
Underline.
Yeah, so when it's handwritten, it's underlined.
Underline, yes.
When it's printed or typed version रहेगा तो italics. It is just to avoid confusion. अगर सब लोग का handwriting का way is different. कुछ लोग anyway थोड़ा slanty लिखते हैं, तो उनका पूरा का पूरा बुक ही हम लोग को italics italics जैसे लग सकता है. So again, it will be a kind of confusion. और हम लोग को क्या करना है? Confusion avoid करना है. That's why the simple way is you should underline them separately. ओके सो इफ हेलियांथस एनुअस, ऐसा एक लाइन नहीं मारना है, हेलियांथस को सेपरेट अंडरलाइन, एनुअस को सेपरेट अंडरलाइन करना है. ओके these are few rules which you should follow for writing the nomenclature. And then बाकी तो मैं तुम लोग को ऑलरेडी बता दिया था. But yeah, what are the two main sub kingdoms of kingdom Plantae? I know kingdom Plantae हुआ नहीं है, but मैंने explain किया है. Yes, Aditi.
Cryptogram and phanerogram.
Very good. तो cryptogram क्या होते हैं?
Non-flowering plants.
Okay. Yes. और phanerograms क्या?
Flowering plants होते हैं
हाँ,
phanerogram.
so we say them generally as a seed producing and non-seed producing. Okay, seeds के message पे explain करते हैं, but that is correct. Okay, so yeah. And the last one, what do you understand by the word agnatha and natostomata? Yes, Kadar.
Agnatha does not contain jaws and Natostomata contain jaws.
Yeah, तो ये क्या है? ये division है, super class है, class है, क्या है?
Subclass.
सब क्लास नहीं हो सकता, राइट? क्लासेस क्या है? नेटोस्टोमाटा और एग्नाथा, ये तो किंगडम एनिमेलिया के पार्ट है, राइट? तो ये किंगडम एनिमेलिया में भी नो देयर इज अ फाइलम कॉर्डेटा, और कॉर्डेटा के अंदर ही आता है, तो ये क्या होगा? यस निकिता, क्या होगा?
अग्नेथोस्मेटा मतलब उसमें जॉज होते हैं और
नहीं
ग्नेथोस्मेटा
या वो तो उसने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया, बट ये डिवीजन है, फाइलम है, क्लास है, सुपर क्लास है, क्या है?
डिवीजन.
Yeah, it is a division. Okay, it is a division of a phylum Chordata. उसके बाद then you will get two super classes. क्या है वो super classes?
This is tetrapoda.
Yeah, very good. और फिर उसमें आता है again चार tetrapoda में चार different, और species में we have two classes. So that's how we generally do classification. So yeah, that's it. So that was just for revision purpose, जो मैं पूछना भूल गया था. And now let's coming back to the kingdom Monera, जिसका हमने already थोड़ा सा डिस्कस कर लिया था, and आज भी हमने रिवाइज किया. So what we revised, it is a unicellular prokaryotic organism, do not have well-defined nucleus, have a single standard, double standard simple circular chromosome, plasmids होते हैं, membrane bound organelles absent होते हैं, it is omnipresent, that means it is present everywhere. Okay, they are present like everywhere, मतलब ऐसे जगह पर भी वो present रहेंगे जहाँ पे अदर कोई लिविंग थिंग्स नहीं है. So even let's take example of अंटार्कटिका में जनरली देयर आर नो ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन, राइट? वहां पे कोई इंसान जहाँ रहता नहीं है, देयर आर जस्ट फ्यू लैब्स एंड ऑल जो रिसर्च के लिए जाते हैं. बट इवन इन अंटार्कटिका these organisms can be found. मतलब जहाँ पे एक्सट्रीम कंडीशंस होंगे वहां पे भी, जहाँ पे और कोई ऑर्गेनिज्म शायद ही सर्वाइव कर पाए, ऐसी जगह पे भी मोनेरा किंगडम के जो एनिमल ऑर्गेनिजम्स है वो प्रेजेंट होते हैं. ओके, majority of them are heterotrophic in nature, that means they are dependent on someone for their food. However, there are few which are photoautotrophs and few which are chemoautotrophs. ये भी मैंने लास्ट टाइम डिस्कस किया था, फोटो एंड कीमो क्या होता है, राइट? तो the next point was its cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, which is also known as urine. और मैं तुम लोग को दो मोनोमर्स भी बताया था कि especially what peptidoglycan is made up of. Okay, and in general what is peptidoglycan? It is nothing but a polymer of a sugar and a amino acids. Now ribosomes, तुम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी मेरे को बताया कि they have a smaller ribosome and which is a 70s type. However, in case of eukaryotic cells क्या होता है type of ribosome?
ATS type.
Yeah, it is ATS type in case of eukaryotic cells. Okay. Now let's talk about their reproduction. So ये हमने सब in general पढ़ लिया कि वो कहाँ पे रहते हैं, उनके habitat क्या है, उनके cellular structures क्या है. Okay, now let's come towards their behavior. So their mode of reproduction is mostly asexual. Okay, or with the help of binary fission or budding. So all this like binary fission, budding, ये सब क्या है? ये सब asexual है. Even sometimes spore produce करते हैं. Even that is a asexual way of reproduction. Okay, However, there are few organisms which actually shows sexual reproduction, and the sexual reproduction is actually shown by the conjugation method. Okay, now यहाँ पे मैंने जब बोला sexual reproduction, it's not like the animal, sorry, the organism has started producing the sexual gametes, male female नहीं. यहाँ पे इनका sexual reproduction is little bit different than what we say as a sexual reproduction. जब भी मैं sexual reproduction बोलता हूँ, what do I mean? I mean there is a male gamete, there is a female gamete, they will fuse and they will form a zygote, right? Followed by fertilization. So in this case क्या होता है? There is a conjugation. Conjugation मतलब ना ये you remember there was something called as phyla. Can anyone tell me what was phyla? Sorry, not phyla. Phyli, I think. What? How you pronounce this? Pili. Pili. Yeah. ये होता है वो सिस्टम पे.
Intracellular communication.
Yeah. So this intracellular communication के लिए जो पिलाई रहता है, through that only sometimes DNA transfer होता है. Okay, so the two cells actually interact with each other through this pili, and then they transfer some kind of material, and this is called as conjugation. Okay, so conjugation happens via pili, and it is considered as a sexual reproduction in case of the kingdom Monera. Okay, so it's like एक सेल है, दूसरा सेल है, दोनों के बीच में ऐसा kind of पाइपलाइन जैसे बन जाता है, एक चैनल बन जाता है, and that particular channel से DNA ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, and then once the DNA transfer from one cell to second cell, it will again get separated and then it will start growing again. So that's how it happens, and that's why it is known as sexual reproduction. Okay, and the process is known as conjugation. Now that is about reproduction. Now how they look like, what is the morphology? Okay, so this particular, ये I think मैंने already तुम लोग को एक बार बताया था, but ठीक है, we will repeat. So this Monera is kingdom which mainly contains bacteria. They are actually categorized into 4 groups based on their morphology. Okay, morphology मतलब वो कैसे उनका size, shape क्या है? Okay, based on their shape and size we can say. So the 4 groups includes coccus. Coccus मतलब spherical in shape. Okay, rod shaped or bacillus. Okay, so coccus मतलब spherical, bacillus मतलब rod shaped. Then there is a vibrio. Okay, matlab kidney shape or comma shape, and the last one was the spiral or spirula. Matlab spiral jaisa rehta hai वैसे. So if you see diagrammatically, so this is a coccus which is spherical. This is a bacillus which is a kind of a rod like. Then there is something called as vibrio which is a comma shape or a kidney shape you can say. And there is Coccobacillus. What is Coccobacillus? Coccobacillus मतलब ना coccus और bacillus के बीच वाला space. So you can see it is completely spherical. It is completely rod shaped. But ये है, it is not completely spherical, not completely rod shaped, but थोड़ा उनके बीच वाला, जो थोड़ा circular है, but थोड़ा उसको press कर दिया जैसे. That is called as Coccobacillus. And then there is spirillum and spirochete. So this is a spirillum. And this is a spiral. So you can see this was a wavy structure. That is called as spirillum or spirochete. Also kind of similar thing. Okay, so these all are actually nothing but typical shapes of organisms found in kingdom Monera. Okay, so there are 4 major groups as I mentioned, and then they can be further classified. Okay, now this is based on morphology and all सब ठीक है. अगर मैं उसको एक big picture देखूं, so the bacteria are actually classified into 2 major groups. Okay, that is kingdom Monera is actually divided into 2 major groups. One is Archaebacteria, second is Eubacteria. Okay, now we will start looking at exactly what is Archaebacteria and what is Eubacteria. Okay, so a very first difference is like based on their cell wall. We all know bacteria का cell wall किससे बनता है? Peptidoglycan से. But in case of Archaebacteria, the cell wall is not really made up of a true peptidoglycan. Okay, it has some different components involved, and that's why it is considered different from the typical bacterial cell wall. That is the first difference, or I can say cellular difference, which was observed in Archaebacteria. Secondly, they are found in an extreme environment. Okay, and that's why they are called as extremophiles. Extreme environment मतलब एकदम high pH, high temperature और एकदम low pH, low temperature kind of thing. It's not like a mild condition जैसे हम लोग रहते हैं, mild or moderate, but एकदम extreme conditions. Okay, so इसके examples अगर देखें हम लोग तो extreme मतलब even the volcanic eruptions वाला area, salty lakes, hot springs, or what can I say, high very low temperature like Antarctica and all यहाँ पे. So in this particular places यहाँ पे रहना बहुत difficult हो सकता है. Even at these places, these extremophiles can survive, and that actually provides a capacity to survive in a very severe condition. मतलब वो कहीं पे भी survive कर सकते हैं. Okay, so there are multiple different groups depending on कि कौन सा type का bacteria है और कौन से conditions में survive करते हैं. Okay, so there is this bacteria that can withstand at very high salinities. Salinities मतलब क्या? Salt concentration. Okay, so the bacteria that can survive at very high salinities are called as halophiles. See, now onwards, each and every line is kind of a MCQ for you. Okay, so be very attentive and note it down if required. Halophiles क्या होते हैं? जो high concentration पे survive कर सकते हैं. High concentration of salt. Then there is something called as thermophiles, which are actually the organisms which can withstand at extremely high temperature. Example of such organism is Thermus aquaticus. Please write it down. Thermus aquaticus. And in the next class, tell me why Thermus aquaticus is of great importance. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what is Thermus aquaticus? किसी को पता है?
Bacteria.
Yeah, that is correct. It is bacteria, or to be more precise, it is Archaebacteria. But why I'm saying मैंने उसका ही नाम क्यों लिया? It is of very great importance in biology or in molecular biology. किसी ने PCR सुना है? Anyone of you heard about PCR, polymerase chain reaction?
Yes.
क्या करता है वो?
उसमें एक कंपाउंड को रेप्लिकेट करके बहुत सारे कंपाउंड में.
Very good, very good, very good. So अभी सब लोग ने PCR ये वर्ड तो सुनना ही चाहिए, because that is one of the confirmatory tests for what?
Positive.
Yeah, for COVID generally we go for RT-PCR because antigen based test जो रहते हैं वो इतने reliable नहीं रहते. We always go for RT-PCR. That's why I ask you, do you all know what is PCR? It is a polymer chain reaction. RT, real time polymerase chain reaction. Okay, so that's why it is called as RT-PCR. And Sharon is correct. It is generally a method for amplification of a gene. उसने compound बोला, but it is not a compound. It is for amplification of a gene. अगर मेरे पास एक copy of gene है, single copy है, I can make उसका thousands, millions copy. Okay, and that is the power of PCR. Okay, so read about it. Thermus aquaticus क्या उसका रोल क्या है? तो मैंने तुम्हें दो चीजें बताई, एक Thermus aquaticus, एक PCR. Now it is your job to connect the both. क्या है दोनों में लिंक क्या है? Okay, the next is another example is methanogenic bacteria. The word itself, methanogenic bacteria, क्या करता रहेगा? The bacteria which is actually involved in production of methane gas, okay, which are found in a gut of ruminants. Ruminants मतलब animals like cows and buffaloes, जिनके पेट में there is a particular part called as rumen, and in this particular rumen, these bacteria are present. Okay, and this bacteria, as the name suggests, helps in what? Production of methane, which is the main component of a biogas plant. Now tell me, what is the composition of biogas?
CH4, carbon, hydrogen.
Wow, Sharon. So carbon hydrogen मतलब मेरा मन क्या था, मैं उसमें क्या डालूं? अल्केन, अल्कीन, अल्काइन सब डाल लूं क्या? CH4 करेक्ट. मिथेन तो है ही, इसके अलावा क्या रहता है?
CO2.
या वेरी गुड निकिता, CO2 और क्या रहता है?
H2O,
सॉरी,
water रहते हैं.
ओके, वाटर तो सिस्टम में रहता है. आई एम आस्किंग यू गैस. See, when I say biogas, it's just not about methane or CO2. It is actually a composition. Okay, obviously a major chunk, 60 to 70% of it is of methane. 40 to 45% is of carbon dioxide. Apart from that, और जो बाकी एरिया बचता है उसमें क्या आता है?
वो बायोटिक वेस्ट रहते हैं.
नहीं शायद दैट इज द क्वेश्चन ना. वो तो हम लोग रॉ मटेरियल प्रोवाइड करते हैं, पानी, कचरा, कंपोस्ट का सब, बैक्टीरिया ये सब देते हैं. एक बार जो उसने उसको कंपोस्ट को मतलब उसको कन्वर्ट कर दिया बैक्टीरिया, तो जो गैस बनता है, आई वांट टू नो द कंपोजिशन ऑफ गैस, नॉट द टेक्निक या फिर हमने रॉ मटेरियल क्या किया, हम लोगों ने कचरा यूज किया या क्या यूज किया. आई डोंट केयर, आई जस्ट वांट टू नो द कंपोजिशन ऑफ गैस. तो तुमने मीथेन बोला, निकिता हैड सेड CO2, दोनों भी करेक्ट हो, and there is something additional. So I want you all to check it out. So please note it down. This is a homework for you. What is the composition of biogas? Okay, in next class बताओगे सब लोग.
Yes.
Apart from, so that is all about the archaebacteria. तो तुम लोग क्या समझा from archaebacteria? They have a different features of cell wall and they survive at a extreme conditions. और उसके बाद एग्जांपल दे सकते हो हेलोफाइल्स, थर्मोफाइल्स का. इतना क्लियर है?
Yes.
Yeah. Now moving ahead, that is the next group of kingdom Monera, that is the eubacteria. So when I say eubacteria, these are nothing but the true bacteria, जिस पर हम लोग हमेशा बात करते हैं, जिनका cell wall is actually made up of peptidoglycan. Okay, so these are actually true bacteria with a cell wall made up of peptidoglycan or murein, and they actually are found in the two groups. Actually, even these particular eubacteria are classified mainly into two groups. The very first group is the autotrophs and the second one is the heterotrophs. So autotrophs जो खुद का खुद देखते हैं, they are kind of self-dependent, they can make their own food. Heterotrophs, they are dependent on others. Okay, so now let's see what are actually autotrophic bacteria. Okay, so these are mostly photosynthetic bacteria and examples are chlorobium and chromatium. So these are actually green sulfur bacteria, blue sulfur bacteria kind of organism. Okay, or they can be chemosynthetic like a sulfur bacteria. So when I say photosynthetic, it means they are actually having some kind of pigments which are helping them to do a process of photosynthesis. So whenever I say a process of photosynthesis, what is required? Why plant can do photosynthesis and animals cannot do the same process?
Chlorophyll की वजह.
So there is a pigment required, right? There is a pigment required that is called as chlorophyll. Only chlorophyll या फिर और भी कुछ चाहिए? Chlorophyll तो मैं ऐसे ही बाहर से इंजेक्शन से ऐड कर दूंगा, और क्या चाहिए उसको?
Chloroplast भी चाहिए.
Very good. So that is another important requirement for photosynthesis. Animal cells में chloroplast नहीं होता है. Human cells में chloroplast नहीं होता है. It is only present in the plant cells, and that is a one thing we need to consider. However, the bacteria, even though bacteria के पास भी chloroplast नहीं होता, but they actually are a primitive system, right? Not primitive. So they actually have this pigment, and this pigment helps them to process, to carry out the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and what is chemosynthesis? I already had told you in the last lecture. यहाँ पे they actually break down chemical compound or convert them into some other form of compound to get a energy, and that is why it is called as chemosynthetic. And the example is the sulfur bacteria. Okay, these are mostly multicellular. How multicellular? अब तक तो मैं बोल रहा था कि सब लोग यूनिसेलुलर है, यूनिसेलुलर है, यूनिसेलुलर है. Then why suddenly I'm saying multicellular? That doesn't mean कि वो एक multicellular system है. It means बहुत सारा cells एक साथ आके they form a filamentous structure. Okay, and that's why it is called as a multicellular filamentous form. Okay, और ये filamentous structure का जो covering होता है, outer thing, it is mostly covered by the mucilaginous sheet. So it is kind of a protective covering this kind of bacteria forms. Okay, and they are genetically, so as I mentioned, they are prokaryotic in nature, and as I mentioned, they are photosynthetic. तो उनके पास pigment होने चाहिए. तो कौन-कौन से pigment होने चाहिए? Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenes, and xanthophyls. Okay, these are the most commonly reported pigments in autotrophic bacteria. Okay. However, in case of filamentous bacteria, the filament shows a presence of a particular region called as heterocyst, okay, which contains an enzyme called as nitrogenase, and that helps in the process of nitrogen fixation. So, do you know what is nitrogen fixation? Yeah, sir. Any idea what is nitrogen fixation? Yes.
Sulfur.
No, not sulfur fixation. I'm asking about nitrogen fixation.
सर बारिश होते है तो
Okay, so no prediction. So I will tell you. Okay, so nitrogen fixation, the word itself, nitrogen fixation, मतलब यहाँ पे लोग nitrogen को fix कर रहे हैं, but कैसे fix कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं? Have you heard about the term carbon dioxide fixation? तुम लोग का चैप्टर हुआ है क्या ये फोटोसिंथेसिस वाला?
no.
Okay, no issues. उसमें you will, उसमें you will get to know about the term carbon dioxide fixation, carbon dioxide fixation. Okay, now I will tell you what is nitrogen fixation. So from beginning only, I had told you always that the bacteria requires few components for the growth. What were the components? Not bacteria, basically any living cell requires few basic things. अगर उसको grow करना है तो हम लोग को वो provide करना पड़ेगा. क्या क्या होता है वो?
Food.
Very good. Food में क्या क्या आ सकता है?
Carbohydrate, protein.
Yeah, very good. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, correct. और अभी इसमें कार्ब्स में क्या होता है? में कार्बन होता है. ओके, तो अगर आई वांट टू गिव अ कार्बन बेस्ड मटेरियल, मैं कार्बोहाइड्रेट दे सकता हूँ, बट ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने सिर्फ कार्बोहाइड्रेट दे दिया तो वो जिएगा. नो, देयर इज मोर रिक्वायरमेंट्स, राइट? तो देयर इज अनदर रिक्वायरमेंट व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज nitrogen requirements. That's why we need to give it always some kind of nitrogenous food. That's why we add some kind of proteins वगैरह into the food. Okay, so क्या होता है? Sometimes some bacteria, so this particular, see, CHO NPK, I will always talk this in this term. CHO, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, चाहिए ही चाहिए. These are called a skeletal element. And nitrogen in case of bacteria, CHON, नाइट्रोजन इज वेरी वेरी एसेंशियल. अगर वो नहीं रहेगा तो बैक्टीरिया ग्रो नहीं कर पाएगा. अभी अगर मैं लैब में काम कर रहा हूँ तो आई कैन ऑलवेज प्रोवाइड इट द इन अ फ्लास्क, यहाँ भाई ले ले खा ले करके. बट इन नेचुरल सिस्टम दैट इज नॉट द केस, राइट? उनको अपना खाना खुद ढूंढना पड़ता है या फिर किसी और से ऑब्टेन करना पड़ता है. So in nitrogen fixation क्या होता है? As nitrogen is an important component and the bacteria cannot grow without nitrogen. And let's say if there is an area जहाँ पे nitrogen is not present in that abundance, so what they start taking up a nitrogen from the atmosphere. Okay, so atmosphere में nitrogen कौन से form में रहेगा?
Gas.
Yes.
Yeah. कौन सा गैस हो सकता है जिसमें नाइट्रोजन होता है? Which gas contains nitrogen?
Ammonia.
Very good. It's ammonia, right? Ammonia is present in air and it contains nitrogen. So now these organisms, they will start taking up ammonia and convert it into organic components like nitrate and nitrite. Okay, so these are the forms of a nitrogen which are generally taken up by the bacteria and utilized for the growth. So this entire process जहाँ पे वो अमोनिया को लेते हैं और उसको कन्वर्ट करते हैं नाइट्राइट एंड नाइट्रेट is called as nitrogen fixation. समझा? The process of taking up ammonia from an atmosphere and converting it into nitrate or nitrite is called as nitrogen fixation. For this particular process, there is a specialized enzymes which are required, which we will discuss in the next time whenever we are discussing about the nitrogen fixation in detail. But for now, I can tell you one enzyme called as nitrogenase. Okay, इतना समझा? Yes, no? वापस repeat करो. Okay, so I assume that you understood the word nitrogen fixation and I'm moving ahead. Okay, so ये था about autotrophs. Now the second group कौन सा रहेगा? Heterotrophs, which are also very abundant in a nature and most of them are actually decomposers. So when I say heterotrophs, मतलब क्या कि they are dependent on someone else, right? So obviously अगर वो किसी और पे dependent है तो उनको कुछ ना कुछ activity करना पड़ेगा to get the food from them. And this is called as the process of decomposition. So that's why we call when it comes to heterotrophs, they are mostly decomposers, and they are known for breaking down the large molecules into simple molecules or minerals. Okay. Now these heterotrophs can be aerobic or anaerobic. Now what is aerobic and what is anaerobic?
एरोबिक में ऑक्सीजन कंप्लीटली होता है और एनारोबिक में ऑक्सीजन
Anaerobic में ऑक्सीजन आगे सुनाई नहीं. होता है या नहीं होता है?
नहीं होता है.
Okay, so that's correct. Aerobic मतलब in presence of oxygen growth होना, anaerobic मतलब in absence of oxygen. Okay, so this organism heterotrophic eubacteria can be aerobic or anaerobic. So anaerobic रहेगा तो mostly examples are the one in a curdling of a milk. So lactobacilli, like curd में देखो कौन सा रहता है? Curd में there are mostly lactobacilli, which are the organisms which are found in curd, which actually can ferment the lactose into lactic acid. Okay, then there is another organisms like nitrogen fixation. Example is Azotobacter. Then there are some which are actually involved in antibiotic production. That is example is Streptomyces. Antibiotic again the compounds which are actually used to kill or inhibit the growth of bacteria. Then there are few which actually help in degradation of oil, composting, and there are multiple different application जहाँ पे हम लोग ये bacteria को use कर सकते हैं. मतलब I think there is nothing that the bacteria cannot do. सब कुछ कर सकता है और अगर नहीं कर पाता है तो हम उसमें वो properties add कर सकते हैं by the process of genetic engineering. Okay, so that's why they have garnered a lot of attention. बहुत मतलब लोगों ने इसमें इंटरेस्ट लिया है लोग और बैक्टीरिया उसको मॉडिफाई करके उनमें और प्रॉपर्टीज डालते उनसे अपना काम करवा के लेते हैं. But it's not like there is always a good side, right? There is always a two sides for every coin. So एक side उसका अच्छा है कि they are decomposers, they are actually helping in different applications like curdling, fermentation, nitrogen fixation, antibiotic production, and composting, degrading वगैरह. But the second side अगर तुम लोग देखोगे तो there are few bacteria which are actually pathogenic in nature. Pathogenic मतलब वो harmful है. They can cause a disease अगर हम लोग के contact में आ गए. Okay, so just such organisms are called as disease causing organisms, and they can actually cause severe diseases like typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, and tetanus. Okay, these are just two examples. If you go in detail, you find huge list जो कि बैक्टीरिया कॉज करते हैं. So can you tell me what is a causative agent for typhoid? किसकी वजह से होता है?
वाटर कंटामिनेटेड.
हाँ, water contamination. So again, you are giving me a very layman's language again. Now you are entering into biology world, right? तो अगर किसी ने पूछा मलेरिया किसने कैसे होता है और तुमने बोल दिया कि मलेरिया is caused by a mosquito. So there is no point, right? You should be able to tell कि mosquito is just a vector. Malaria is caused by what? Malaria is caused by what organism?
बैक्टीरिया.
Wow, Sharon.
प्रोटोजो।
Thank you, Nikita. So that is the very, very important reason I always keep on telling, write down things. Write down things because you will tend to forget and that will be a big, big, big problem. ऐसे अगर तुम नीट में लिख के आए शरण, सो क्या होगा, 4 मार्क्स तो ऐसे ही चला जाएगा. यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर नीट और जेई शरण?
दोनों लिख रहे हैं।
ओके, दोनों लिख रहे हो. तो जस्ट इमेजिन द क्वेश्चन कम्स एंड यू आर जस्ट राइटिंग ऐसे ही बैक्टीरिया, बस फटक से 4 मार्क का नुकसान. दैट शुडंट हैपन, राइट? यू शुड पे अटेंशन. सो राइट डाउन दोस थिंग्स. मलेरिया इज कॉज्ड बाय अ प्रोटोजोआ. उसका नाम था, क्या नाम था, कोई बताएगा मुझे? सृष्टि?
प्लाज्मोडियम।
Yeah. So it was Plasmodium which actually causes the disease malaria. Okay. Similarly, there is typhoid. You said it correctly. Contaminated water. But उसमें contaminated water में ऐसा क्या है कि जिसके वजह से actually वो हो रहा है, वो जानना मेरे लिए important है. Okay. So that's why now this is again homework for you all.
सर बैक्टीरिया का नाम आता है,
क्या?
उसका नाम प्रोटोजोआ का नाम आता है, टाइफाइड।
प्रोटोजोआ का नाम आता है मतलब